What if I told you that 80% of premature engine failures aren't caused by bad oil, but by something you did or didn't do before the oil change itself? Mechanics rarely mention this because the more engines fail, the more money they make. But here's the shocking truth. There's one simple step, done right before every oil change, that can literally add hundreds of thousands of miles to your engine's life. Miss it, and you're slowly choking your motor to death. Oil change after oil change, without even knowing it. And here's the kicker. Most drivers think they're protecting their engines when they change the oil regularly. But without this pre-oil change step, they're actually leaving behind the very sludge, carbon, and debris that eat engines alive. Stick with me until the end, because I'll not only reveal that trick, but I'll also expose 5 other pre-oil change secrets mechanics never talk about. By the time you finish this video, you'll know how to keep your engine running like new forever. Before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever had an oil change done and noticed your car still runs rough, idles poorly, or drinks more fuel than it should? That's not just wear and tear. It's a sign something was skipped. Drop a comment if you've experienced that, because I guarantee you're not alone. Step 1. Warm the engine first. This is the #1 thing almost no driver does, and it's a game changer. Never ever drain your oil on a cold engine. When the engine is warm, just slightly above operating temperature, the oil thins out. Contaminants are suspended in it, and gravity pulls more of it out of the crankcase. If you drain cold oil, up to half a quart of sludge and dirty residue stays behind, clinging like tar. Do that every 5,000 miles, and after a few years, you've basically baked sludge into your motor. A warm drain clears out 90 to 95% of the junk, giving your fresh oil a clean start. Pro tip, drive the car for 10 minutes, then shut it off and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes before draining. You'll get the perfect mix of thin oil and safe handling temps. Step 2. Flush out the hidden quart. Here's a dirty secret most mechanics won't admit. Your drain plug doesn't actually remove every drop of old oil. Pockets of it stay trapped in oil galleys and the oil pump. That leftover junk immediately contaminates your new oil. Here's how to fix it. After draining, add half a quart of cheap fresh oil. Yes, cheap stuff. Let it run through for 30 seconds, then drain again. This flushes out the last of the old residue. It's like rinsing your coffee pot before brewing a fresh batch. You'd never brew coffee on old sludge, right? Industry veterans call this a rinse drain, and while shops almost never do it because it takes extra time, the drivers who do swear their engines stay smoother, longer. Step 3. Always replace the crush washer. This one seems tiny but can prevent massive damage. Every time you remove the drain bolt, the little aluminum or copper crush washer underneath deforms to seal the pan. Reusing it is a gamble. It can leak slowly, letting oil drip without you noticing. That tiny leak adds up, and suddenly you're running a quart low, cooking your bearings. Dealers charge pennies for a new washer. Some pro mechanics even keep a bag of 50 in their toolbox. If your mechanic reuses washers to save a buck, call them out on it. Fresh washer, fresh seal, peace of mind. Step 4. Prime the oil filter before installing. Here's another pro trick that can save your engine from dry starts. Every time you change the filter, fill it halfway with fresh oil before screwing it on. Why? Because when you start the car after an oil change, it takes a few seconds for the pump to refill that empty filter. During those seconds, your engine is running dry, metal on metal. Priming the filter ensures immediate lubrication on startup. This tip is especially critical on trucks, SUVs, and larger engines where filters hold more oil. Step 5. Use the right torque, not gorilla strength. Tightening the oil filter and drain plug by feel is a rookie mistake. Too loose and it leaks. Too tight and you strip threads or crush the gasket. That's how people end up with stripped oil pans, a repair that can cost $500 to $1,000. Always check the torque spec in your manual. Most drain plugs are around 25 to 30 foot-pounds. Filters are usually hand-tight plus a quarter turn. If a mechanic over-tightens, they're either rushing or setting you up for future repairs. Step 6. Check for metal shavings in the drain pan. Here's a secret most drivers skip. When you drain your oil, don't just dump it into a bucket and move on. Take a flashlight and inspect the bottom of the drain pan. If you see shiny metallic flakes, that's not dirt. That's your engine wearing itself out. Tiny shavings can indicate early bearing wear, camshaft damage, or piston scuffing. Spotting it early gives you time to address the problem before it turns into a seized engine. Pro mechanics use magnetic drain plugs to trap these shavings. They cost under $20 and act like a check engine light for your oil. Every time you change oil, check the magnet. If it's clean, you're good. If it's loaded with metal fuzz, you know something's wrong before your engine grenades. Step 7. Clean the oil filler cap and neck. You'd be shocked how many engines get contaminated from this overlooked detail. That filler cap you twist off? It's often coated in sludge, dirt, and sometimes even moisture. If you ignore it, all that grime falls right into your fresh oil. Before pouring in new oil, wipe the cap, the rubber seal, and the neck of the filler hole with a clean, lint-free cloth. This prevents introducing contaminants and ensures your engine breathes clean oil from day one. Think of it as washing your hands before eating. Step 8. Reset the oil life monitor correctly. This one gets botched all the time. Modern cars use an electronic oil life system, not just a mileage counter. It monitors driving conditions, temperatures, and engine load to estimate oil health. But if you don't reset it properly, your car thinks you skipped the oil change, and the system will throw off future reminders. Each car has a different reset method. Some use a dashboard button dance, others use infotainment menus, and high-end brands like BMW or Mercedes may require ignition sequences. Check your owner's manual or look it up for your model. Ignoring this is dangerous because you could run way past your real oil interval, thinking you're still fine. Reset it right, and your car stays in sync with your maintenance schedule. Step 9. Inspect gaskets and seals around the pan. When your car is on the lift or jack stands, you've got a golden opportunity most people waste. Look around your oil pan, valve cover, and timing cover for seepage. Catching a $10 gasket leak now can save you from a $1,000 repair later. Oil leaks don't just stain your driveway. They reduce oil levels, weaken seals further, and even damage belts and sensors if left unchecked. Expert tip: wipe the area clean after each oil change. That way, if oil shows up again, you know it's a fresh leak, not old residue. Step 10. Don't ignore the PCV valve. This is one of those hidden killers of engines. The positive crankcase ventilation PCV valve regulates pressure inside your engine. If it's clogged, sludge builds up faster, seals blow, and oil consumption skyrockets. The best time to check it? Right before an oil change. Pop it out, shake it. If it rattles, it's good. If not, replace it. They cost around $10 to $15, and swapping one can extend the life of your engine oil by thousands of miles. Manufacturers like Honda and Ford even list PCV valve inspection in their maintenance charts, but most drivers never look at it. Step 11. Use OEM or high-quality filters only. Here's where most people cut corners and pay the price. Cheap filters may look the same from the outside, but inside they use thin paper, weak bypass valves, and poor seals. That means dirty oil keeps circulating through your engine. Independent tests from industry experts like Project Farm show the difference clearly. A $3 filter can collapse internally under heat, while OEM filters or trusted brands like Wix, Mobile One, or Bosch withstand high pressure and trap contaminants properly. The lesson: don't cheap out on filters. Saving $5 here can cost you $5,000 down the road. Step 12. Use the correct oil spec, not just the right weight. This is where even experienced DIers mess up. They look at the bottle, see 5W30, and assume it's good to go. But modern engines require very specific certifications like APISN+, ILS-ACGF6, or Dexos 1 Gen 3. Using an oil without the right certification can void warranties and accelerate wear. Manufacturers design engines with tight tolerances, turbochargers, and emission systems that demand specific additive packages. Always check the manual for the spec, not just the viscosity. Pro mechanics stress this all the time, but shops sometimes pour in bulk oil that isn't the exact match. If you want your engine to last forever, insist on the right spec. Why mechanics don't push these tips? Now ask yourself, why don't mechanics hammer these steps into every customer? Simple. Time is money. Quick lube shops want you in and out in 15 minutes. Dealers make their profits on repairs, not prevention. The less you know, the more dependent you are on them. But by learning these pre-oil change habits, you're flipping the script. You're taking back control of your engine's health, your wallet, and your car's future. And here's the truth. Drivers who practice these steps routinely see engines go 300,000, 400,000, even 500,000 miles without major work. Now here's the final piece you've been waiting for. The step most drivers completely ignore before every oil change. It has nothing to do with oil, filters, or gaskets. Yet it directly impacts how long your engine lives. If you get this one wrong, all the oil changes in the world won't save your car. I'm going to show you what it is, how it works, and why skipping it is the silent killer of engines everywhere. You'll want to pay close attention, because this single step could be the difference between replacing your engine at 120,000 miles or driving the same car for 500,000 miles. Step 13, the hidden step. Inspect and clean the air filter housing. Here's the final pre-oil change secret that almost no mechanic will remind you of, but it matters just as much as the oil itself. Before pouring in new oil, always check your air filter and the housing around it. Why? Because your oil and your air filter work hand in hand. Every bit of dust, dirt, and debris that slips past a dirty filter ends up in the oil. That contamination speeds up oil breakdown, clogs passages, and creates abrasive sludge that eats away at bearings. When you replace or clean the filter right before an oil change, you're giving your fresh oil a cleaner environment to work in from mile one. And here's the kicker: cleaning out the air filter housing, vacuuming leaves, dirt, and bugs, prevents debris from being sucked into your intake the moment you start the car. This step doesn't just extend oil life, it directly extends engine life. Skip it, and you're undermining all the other work you've done. Flip the mechanic's script. Think about this. Mechanics make money on your mistakes. A missed gasket, a bad filter, or contaminated oil equals a payday for them. But by mastering these pre-change secrets, you're taking money out of their pockets and keeping it in yours. So if you've ever felt like repairs were draining your wallet, this is your chance to fight back. Every step you just learned is a shield against premature engine death. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever caught a mechanic skipping one of these steps? Or maybe you've had an engine last way longer than expected. What's your secret? Your stories don't just help other drivers. They build a community of car owners who actually care about keeping their engines alive. And don't forget, this is just the beginning. If you thought these tips were powerful, wait until you see what happens when you combine them with the right oil change techniques. That's where you'll discover tricks mechanics absolutely don't want you to know. The kind that can make your engine run like new, even at 300,000 miles. Click the next video on your screen now, and I'll reveal the oil change hacks that transform your engine's lifespan.